Hey guys, what's going on? This is Jordan Miller. I'm the owner and founder of Breathe Heavy, and today I'm going to be talking about self-importance and self-worth when it comes to social media. I feel like I have a very interesting perspective when it comes to social media because I launched my website Breathe Heavy in June of 2004, which was right around the same time that Facebook launched their platform. And while Facebook obviously has a lot more traffic than I do feel like over the years I've gained a lot of experience in terms of social media, how to handle it, and what it means when it comes to your own mental health. If you're a current subscriber, thank you. And if you're new here, please subscribe and also visit Breathe Heavy after your YouTube video binge. Breathe Heavy is a pop music news / pop culture / Britney Spears community. So I encourage you to check it out. And while you're there, create an account. It's completely free. It takes less than 30 seconds and you can start commenting with thousands of other people. The reason why I wanted to create this video is because of the debacle that happened once Perez Hilton announced that he was permanently banned from TikTok. But before we dive into the video, let's play that intro. So in case you aren't aware, there's a blogger named Perez Hilton who's run this website, perezhilton.com, for many, many years. He has a lot of notoriety and he's kind of infamous on the internet. In his heyday, there were literally millions of people reading his website every single day. And that's in part because of how sensational it was. He was literally criticizing and bullying celebrities, and there was a lot of people who would just tune in simply to kind of see the train wreck of celebrity and stardom and his perception of it and really his take on everything. But in the years since, he's had a difficult time maintaining that amount of success. I think in part because the internet has vastly changed from 2006, 2007. And now, in my opinion, I think the internet is more of a nicer place. I think there's an emphasis now on people taking care of their mental health, more so now than ever. But in 2007, that was in a totally different place, and so he was able to kind of get away with it until he wasn't. So I think in the following years up until now, he's really had a difficult time maintaining his relevancy because of this kind of trap that he created himself. And although he's apologized on many occasions for some of the things that he said, there are literally thousands of people on the internet who refuse to forgive and forget. So here we are all these years later, it's 2020, he's creating content for TikTok, and TikTok has really taken off for the Gen Z younger generation. And so there is a wave of hate towards him because people feel like he shouldn't be on it, it's not meant for him. And some of the videos that he did post were very questionable. And when I say questionable, I'm sure if you do a quick Google search, you can find some of the content that I'm referring to. But I think that he is living his best life and was just trying to create content because that's all he's ever known. But unfortunately for him, TikTok has permanently banned him, and although he tried to create a second account, TikTok also banned that account. So in response to being banned, Perez created a near 10-minute video essentially pleading with TikTok and really his entire audience or anyone who would watch this video to help him secure his account back.
In a Hail Mary pass, hoping for a Christmas miracle, I have reached out to Charli D'Amelio and her family. I messaged them on Instagram, begging them for help.
You can see that there's literally thousands of comments, and I had a quick scroll through a lot of them, and 99% of them are just hating him. And what's so alarming to me about this is just the amount, the volume of how much people are showing him anger and hatred and just really all over him. Now, I'm not here to defend Perez Hilton. I think some of the things he has said in the past are unfathomable to me, things that I personally would never say. The point of this video is a couple things. One, I want to address this toxic culture on the internet that still exists. And two, I want to stress how important it is to know your self-worth outside of the internet and outside especially of social media. In terms of the amount of hate, I know that my take on everything is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I personally don't feel like fighting fire with fire ever leads to anything good on the internet. So for instance, if you just hate Perez Hilton or you don't like him and you take that extra step of writing a nasty comment on his video. To me, I have trouble understanding what that accomplishes, because anytime that you feel a negative emotion, and I'm generally speaking, I'm not specifically talking about you, but anytime someone feels a negative emotion at someone else, it's only that person that experiences this negative emotion. And I kind of have a lot of history with this concept, especially right now because of this Free Britney movement and Britney's father being a conservator over Britney's life and basically having complete control over her personal and financial affairs. And a lot of Britney fans hate Jamie Spears. And while I personally don't understand where Mr. Spears is coming from and just think he's completely blinded by his love of money and control, I personally don't go out of my way to bring him down, because I recognize that the only person that's going to hurt from that really is me. And since I've been running Breathe Heavy for over 16 years, I've had a lot of history and a lot of experiences with people slamming me and hating on me, and just kind of want to create this video more for educational purposes, so hopefully it inspires someone who maybe does feel a little anger at someone and wants to express that through a comment on the internet, to take a second to pause and really ask, is this going to elevate the conversation? Is this going to move the needle forward in a positive way? I also want to talk about this notion of self-importance and self-worth on the internet, namely social media. For instance, I'm guilty myself of posting thirst traps, for example, on Instagram. And if you're interested in seeing these thirst traps, a little shameless promotion, I guess, my username is @It's Jordan Miller. And I recognize in myself the reason why that I sometimes post these shirtless pictures or videos of me working out is because I get this instant gratification right away. So the second that I post a picture that's a little more scandalous, the likes come in, the comments come in much more than if I'm posting a picture of me in clothes working, for instance. Instagram is essentially like a magazine for your life. It's not real. But there are countless people out there that really do look at other people's Instagrams and see how their life is picture perfect, and that's not actually reality. Everyone's struggling with something, everyone's dealing with something behind closed doors, but you'll never know that on Instagram or TikTok. You're never gonna really see the problems or the struggles that I face, because I also use Instagram in the way that many other people do, which is to make your life look like it's going perfectly fine. And trust me, there are many days where I feel down or I feel sad or whatever, but that doesn't usually make Instagram. I think another reason why I have some compassion for Perez and why it saddens me to see all this anger aimed at him, despite some of the things that he's done in the past, is because I'm also a content creator. I've been running my website for many, many years. And so I know what it's like to lose a social media handle, because it's actually devastating for your business. I personally have lost Breathe Heavy's Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook accounts at different times, and had to spend months going back and forth with each social media platform, basically begging to get my accounts back. I can understand why he's so devastated, and I think because he is living in LA and he's supporting his family and his kids, there is this added layer of pressure that he has to continue running on this hamster wheel to generate revenue to keep everything afloat. So I don't think anyone's taken that aspect into account, and it makes a lot of sense why he's bursting out into tears, begging for his accounts to be returned. Now, it's worth mentioning that there is some level of self-awareness on his part with all of this going on. He did say he's going to seek therapy as a result of how he reacted to losing his TikTok, which I think is extremely awesome that he's even coming forth and saying that. And I do think that it would be beneficial for him. Obviously, I'm no doctor, but anytime someone has this kind of reaction that's so severe and so public, it is worth looking at. Now, when I lost my social media accounts, I was able to get them back. And I think one of the most important things that I did was keep a cool and level head about the situation. Obviously, the day that I logged in and saw my Instagram account was flagged and taken down and I wasn't able to post, I was devastated. I freaked out as well. But I did it behind closed doors because I knew that I was going to be able to get a lot further if I kept my cool. So really that goes for anyone going through something that they find to be extremely scary or devastating, is just to take a moment to pause and assess the situation and then move forward with some decisive action versus kind of having a little bit of a meltdown. Now, I'm not saying you can't have a meltdown, I just find them to be not very productive, and it's better to pause when you're stressed out versus reacting, like that. So at the end of the day, I just want you to know that your self-worth isn't defined by how many likes and comments you get on Instagram or TikTok or whatever social media platform. As cheesy as it sounds, self-worth comes from within. So if you know deep within that you have self-worth no matter if your social media is taken away from you or not, from there you're living in an empowered state and you can take action in all areas of your life, not just with social media. I do understand that it is very seductive to want to grow your follower count. Trust me, I battle with that every single day. In fact, one of my goals with YouTube is to have as many subscribers as possible so I can grow my reach with Breathe Heavy. So I don't think that wanting followers and growth is a bad thing. I only think that if your self-worth is also tied up into it. So God forbid that my YouTube channel is taken away from me and YouTube don't even think about it. But if it was, I know deep down in my heart that I'm not gonna lose my and I'm going to fight to get it back. So I know I'll probably get a lot of dislikes and negative comments on this video for some of the things that I said. I understand that. I knew that going into this video. Hopefully we see the opposite and everyone smashes that like button. Hopefully my words were inspiring to you and uplifted you. If they did, I'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment. I'm responding to all the comments, so I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching. It's greatly appreciated. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button because I have a lot of great videos on the way. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video. Outro.